Welcome to the Standing in the Gaps News Deep Dive. This week, things felt a little shaky around the globe, wouldn't you say?
Definitely.
From travel nightmares to political dramas that could rival any TV show.
A lot to unpack, that's for sure.
We're diving deep today, connecting those events that seem random to the bigger picture, those global trends shaping our world.
Sounds like a plan.
And let's kick things off with a literal bang. I'm talking about that crazy car fire at Heathrow Airport.
Oh yeah, that was wild.
So picture this. You're at one of the busiest airports on the planet.
Right.
And all of a sudden, boom, electric car goes up in flames. Inside a tunnel, talk about adding fuel to the fire.
Literally.
Right, so the M4, totally gridlocked.
Night.
Passengers stranded. The car of the future causing chaos in the present. It's almost too ironic, right?
It's a bit of a head scratcher, that's for sure.
It really is. But hey, it makes you think about how fragile our transportation systems really are. One little hiccup, and the whole thing can go haywire.
One event seems isolated can cause this huge ripple effect. It's something we often overlook, right?
Like, we've all been there, stuck at the airport because of some delay. But this Heathrow thing, that just takes it to a whole new level.
And speaking of travel disruptions, we can't forget about those strikes in Germany.
Major flight cancellations, thousands of passengers stuck.
Over 40,000 stranded in Hamburg alone.
Yeah, and it's spreading, right, to like 13 airports in total.
That's right. This might be a sign of a larger trend, a kind of global wave of labor movements that are gaining some serious momentum.
Interesting. You think it could impact more than just travel?
Oh, absolutely. Potentially, we could see this across various sectors of the economy.
Something to keep an eye on for sure. So from travel troubles to political turmoil, because the world stage felt a little wobbly this week. Let's talk about Romania's decision to bar that pro-Russian candidate from their presidential election rerun.
Bold move.
Yeah, super bold. I mean, that puts them in a pretty tricky spot, right? Caught between Russia and the West.
Historically, this kind of thing can lead to some serious tension. Romania is sending a clear message about where their allegiances lie, but it could also provoke a response from Russia.
It's a gamble for sure. And speaking of risky moves, South Korea's impeached president, Yoon Suk-yeol, he was released from prison.
That was unexpected.
Now he's allowed to stand trial for rebellion, but he gets to stay free.
Well, he awaits trial, yeah.
That just seems so unusual.
Well, you have to understand the gravity of impeachment in South Korea. The National Assembly can remove a president from office for serious misconduct. And allowing him to remain free while facing such charges, it raises a lot of questions about the stability of their political system.
Right. And potentially even undermines their rule of law.
Absolutely.
Definitely throws a wrench in the whole checks and balances thing.
Yeah.
And hey, if you're digging this deep dive into U.S. politics, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more content like this.
Definitely.
Okay, let's shift gears and head over to the U.S. political landscape now. So President Trump, he talked about a potential government shutdown this week. Said he's hopeful about a funding bill, but, there's always that risk if they don't get enough votes.
Right. The threat of a government shutdown in the U.S. it has real consequences for people who depend on government services.
No doubt.
Yeah.
It exposes those deep divisions and challenges within their political system.
Yeah.
He also seemed to kind of dodge those questions about a possible recession, calling it a period of transition.
Mm-hmm.
What do you make of that?
Clever choice of words. It avoids actually saying the R word, right?
Right.
Could be a tactic to manage public perception, keep that sense of stability, even if the economic indicators are pointing in a different direction.
Interesting. Okay. And speaking of choosing your words carefully, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, she really stirred the pot with her statement about migrant children having a choice not to cross the border illegally. That word choice is pretty loaded, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. It oversimplifies a complex issue, ignores the realities these migrants face. They often have limited options. This statement feeds into that larger, very heated debate about U.S. immigration policy. And it begs the question, does everyone really have a choice in their circumstances?
It's a good question. And then things took a pretty dramatic turn at the White House this week. We had that incident with the armed man who was shot outside the building, critically injured, investigation still ongoing.
That underscores the heightened security concerns we're dealing with today. It makes you think about your own sense of safety in public spaces, doesn't it?
It's a stark reminder that even the most secure locations are vulnerable. Okay, let's shift our focus now to the Middle East. We saw a serious escalation in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Israel cut off electricity to Gaza, and this comes after they blocked all aid the week before.
Cutting off electricity raises huge humanitarian concerns. The long-term impact, that's still to be determined, but it's definitely a concerning development.
So we've covered a lot already today. Travel disruptions, political tensions, potential conflicts brewing. It's enough to make anyone's head spin. But don't worry, we're here to help you connect the dots.
That's right.
We're going to keep digging into these stories and exploring the bigger picture. Stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive.
It's going to be good.
Sponsor break VidIQ. Are you a YouTube content creator trying to grow your channel? VidIQ is the ultimate AI-powered tool that helps you rank higher in search results, get more views, and crack the YouTube algorithm. Find the best keywords to make your videos trend. Analyze your competition to see what's working. AI-powered video ideas to help you create content people want to watch. Real-time analytics so you can grow faster. Stop guessing. Start growing. Try VidIQ today. Click the link in the description. Have you used VidIQ before? Tell us in the comments if you've tried it and what you think.
It's fascinating, isn't it? So many of these events, like the Romanian election, the South Korean president, even that potential U.S. government shutdown, they all highlight this global struggle for power and control.
Yeah, it's like the whole world's playing this high-stakes game of chess. Every move has these huge consequences.
Exactly. And like we saw in Gaza, those power struggles, they can have a devastating impact on ordinary people.
For sure.
But, I wanted to circle back to that car fire at Heathrow for a second.
Yeah.
It raises important questions about the safety and reliability of electric vehicles, especially as more and more people are starting to use them.
That's a good point. We're always told electric vehicles are like the eco-friendly future of transportation.
Right. But incidents like this, they're a reminder that every new technology has its own challenges and risks.
And in this case, those risks played out in a pretty dramatic and disruptive way.
Yeah, no kidding. And did you know that electric car fires, they're actually a nightmare for firefighters?
Really?
Yeah, those lithium-ion batteries. You can experience this thing called thermal runaway. It leads to these super intense fires that are really hard to put out with traditional methods. So this Heathrow incident shows just how much we need specialized training and equipment to deal with these types of fires effectively.
Yeah, and it also makes you think about our infrastructure, right? If one car can cause so much chaos at a major airport like Heathrow, are we really ready for a massive influx of electric vehicles?
That's the big question, isn't it? Do we have the charging infrastructure, the safety protocols, the emergency response capabilities to handle a potential surge in electric vehicle incidents?
Yeah, those are some important things to consider. It's like, we're all excited about this greener future, but we got to make sure we're prepared for the challenges that come with it.
Absolutely. We got to make sure those advancements in technology go hand in hand with improvements in infrastructure and safety measures. Can't have one without the other, really.
This week, it's definitely given us a lot to think about. Feels like every corner of the world is dealing with uncertainty and change.
That's the reality of our world today, right? Everything's connected. And we're in this era of super rapid transformation. It's bound to be a bit unstable.
Yeah, it's a bit overwhelming for sure.
It is. But that's why it's so important to stay informed, to really think critically about what's happening and to consider different perspectives. That's how we can make sense of it all and make good decisions.
And that's what we try to do here at Standing in the Gaps News. Bring you the facts without any political bias. Give you the power to form your own informed opinions.
Exactly. Because knowledge is power. The more we understand about the events that are shaping our world, the better equipped we are to make a difference.
I like that. Knowledge is power. So if you're finding this deep dive valuable, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. The more people we can reach with factual and unbiased information, the better off we'll all be.
Now, we've been talking about these events on a global scale, but it's important to remember that behind every headline, there are real people, real stories.
It's easy to forget that sometimes. We get caught up in the big picture and lose sight of the individual experiences.
Right. Like, think about those passengers who were stranded at Heathrow because of that car fire. Their travel plans were ruined, their lives were put on hold, or the people in Gaza who are now living without electricity. It's a stark reminder that the news isn't just something we read or watch, it's something we live.
It's a good point. These events have a real impact on people's lives.
And it's a call to action for all of us. We can't just sit back and passively observe. We need to engage with what's happening in the world, empathize with those who are affected, and find ways to help. Find ways to be part of the solution.
That brings us back to the mission of Standing in the Gaps News. We believe that by providing accurate and unbiased information, we can help people understand each other better, bridge those gaps, and foster meaningful dialogue.
We're not here to tell you what to think. We want to give you the tools and insights you need to think critically and come to your own conclusions.
We have to move beyond those simplistic narratives and embrace the complexity of our reality.
And that's what we're all about here at Standing the Gaps News. We're not saying we have all the answers, but we are committed to giving you the tools and insights you need to form your own conclusions. Conclusions based on facts and critical analysis.
We want our listeners to be active participants in the global conversation, to really engage with these issues and contribute to meaningful solutions. Your voice matters. Your perspective matters.
And if you appreciate what we do here, we encourage you to support our GoFundMe campaign. Your contributions, big or small, help us reach a wider audience, improve our production quality, and keep delivering the insightful and informative content you've come to expect from us.
Every donation makes a difference. It allows us to invest in things like better webcams, studio microphones, and editing computers so we can keep improving the quality of our work and reach more people with our message of truth and transparency.
We may be a small team, but we have a lot of passion for what we do, and we are so grateful for the support of our listeners. You make this all possible.
And on that note, this wraps up our deep dive into the global news from March 8th to 10th, 2025. Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovery and reflection. We hope you found it informative and thought-provoking.
Remember, stay curious, stay engaged, and stay informed. The world is full of wonder and challenges, and together we can face them with greater understanding and purpose.